Hello, good people. This is your guy, your communicator, Mr. Educator, Mr. Free Thinker, coming back at you live once again from the Lone Star State with another edition of the Media Mike Speaks. Today's top story is from Newsweek by Jenny Fink. And this is one of my ivory tower editions regarding the future of higher education. And it reads, Suspended professor still under investigation for story about drag bar 5 months later. Now we'll get into that and you see what this means. Now, this school, Pacific University, located in the Pacific Northwest. And this professor that teaches there, well, right now he's on, I would say, administrative leave. His name is Richard Paxton. I do believe he's a tenured professor. I don't know how long he's been with the university, but he is tenured. And he's come under fire for allegedly violating a Title IX. So we're going to talk about this. He has obtained an attorney, and her name is Robin DeCamp. And according to his attorney, and also the American Association of University Professors, the AAUP, they are pressuring the school to conclude the Title IX investigation that has gone on for 5 months. The period of time that he's been put on leave. I do believe with pay, if I'm not mistaken. So, we're going to talk about what led up to Professor Paxton being placed on leave. So, well, suspension, I would say. Put it like that. So he was suspended with pay, October of last year, after a Title IX sexual misconduct investigation was launched, in part because of complaints the Oregon-based school received about an incident, I would say, he shared in class about a New Orleans drag queen bar. Now, I don't know what that was or why he was there. Well, I've never been to one of those, but that's none of my business. But I guess we're going to talk about why he was there, and he was sharing his story about it. So, 5 months later, the professor has yet to be contacted by the investigator, and his advocates argue the school is setting a harmful precedent for tenured faculty. I do agree. I am inclined to agree at this point. He's tenured. So what is taking the investigation so long? Now, according to Professor Paxton's attorney, Robin DeCamp, she noted that tenure exists to promote academic freedom. And I think this is what this is all about. Is this a violation of this professor's, number one, free speech and academic freedom? Now, back to his attorney, who states, tenure exists to promote academic freedom and to protect those professors from dismissal without adequate cause and due process. Having done nothing to warrant suspension or loss of tenure, Pacific University is using Title IX to oust Paxton, according to his attorney, DeCamp. Well, it clearly looks like that's the only policy violation they could get here. Now, also according to his attorney, Title IX is like the slip and slide of getting rid of tenured professors. So that could be a huge loophole. But even Title IX comes with due process and jurisdictional requirements, neither of which will follow in this case, according to his attorney. Okay, well, I do agree, because it doesn't seem that way. Now, it reads on, she goes on to say, her client was shocked to learn that he would be subject to a sexual misconduct Title IX investigation if he didn't resign. So I guess they were trying to pressure him into resigning, and he refused. After numerous requests for details about the complaints against Paxton, DeCamp said they received an undated document which alleges that Professor Paxton constantly berated students with misogynistic language, ignored the gender identity of a gender, and non-binary students by saying every person had a gender. I don't know, it's only two. Okay. And made negative and gender stereotyping comments about transgender individuals and telling a story about an experience at the bar. Well, he told a story. I don't know where all this is coming from. First of all, when you talk about an undated document, that's a red flag right there. It seems like someone got together and typed up something. I'm just saying, the document is not dated. What kind of report writing investigative tactics is this university using? You have an undated document? That doesn't make any sense. Now, DeCamp said she never received specifics about the allegations. I was about to say, okay, what are the specifics? You're saying he said non-binary things? What? I don't understand. He berated. That can really be fabricated. I'm not saying that it was, but it seems to me that could be. It's like they're almost like they're making up this. I'm just saying the investigation is still not concluded. Allegedly, I'm just saying. It seems to me. But Paxton assumes it's related to well, once again, there's that anecdote he's been using for 20 years, intended to illustrate schema theory of how the human mind works. Now, according to Professor Paxton, he's saying this schema theory, good people, he's talking about, well, how the mind works if you perceive something new, like go around a group of people that you don't know and you may feel uncomfortable at first, but over time in that setting, then things become okay. So, I think that kind of works out. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from there. I mean, I really can. So, but I don't think I would be subjected to something like that. I don't think so. I mean, if you ask me, I couldn't do it. I'm just saying that's just me. I would not be able to do so. So, I mean, just nothing against transgender at all. I have done many podcasts and videos on that. You can go check them out. Transgender War 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is something I do believe that is for biological women to tackle, I would say. That's their burden to bear. Nothing to do with me. Just saying here. Anyway, so that was his theory. That's his thing. Now he said he felt comfortable later on, and then things began. Okay, I don't have nothing to do with that. Anyway, now DeCamp continued to argue, his attorney. She's saying his attorney that all of this was not subject to Title IX because they had nothing to do with transgenderism, but were geared toward what he's saying, that men who dress like women. That's his attorney arguing for him. So, hey, this is really getting weird here. This is really getting weird. DeCamp has also, I would say this, the AAUP has also teamed up, and his attorney out of the Washington D.C. based AAUP, they've gotten involved also, and they saw the alleged comments as relevant to the subject material. Because I would like to know, what was he teaching? And that's something too I would like to know. So, because it may pertain to subject matter. Now, the AAUP wrote in a letter to Pacific University President Leslie Halleck that the judgment as to whether comments violated professional ethics should be left up to his professional peers. It probably should. Now, Gregory Schultz, director of AAUP's Department of Academic Freedom, Tenure and Governance, argued that not having a faculty hearing for over 100 days, which is true, amounts to summary dismissal, a harmful precedent for tenure, academic freedom, and due process at the university. Now, responding to Mr. Schultz's letter, the president of the university, Ms. Halleck, stated, "The school doesn't control the investigator's timeline," and answer Schultz found unacceptable. It seems to me that this professor must have a hearing within 100 days. They're taking 5 months, which is going over the 100 days. So according to Mr. Schultz, if you go over that, then that's a dismissal. So could it be that the university is purposely stalling this investigation so they could dismiss this professor, this tenure professor? I don't know. Good people. You find the article and you can send your comments below. So let me know. So this must be a Title IX investigator, I presume. Wow. Now, Mr. Schultz goes on to state, I hope you appreciate that if allegations against faculty members were commonly handled in this manner at Pacific University, academic freedom, tenure, and due process would have little meaning, Mr. Schultz wrote Thursday in response to Halleck as provided by the Campton Newsweek. This has gone on long enough. It has. But it's like that professor is at the mercy of this university. They're using all these tactics. They have found, to me, allegedly, I'm just saying, it looks like they found a loophole to get rid of faculty. And not just any faculty, tenured faculty. This is pretty serious, good people. For all those individuals out there in higher education, you better take heed. I hope things work out for this professor, and I wish him the best of luck in dealing with this situation. Man, free speech, academic freedom under attack? What's next? Well, good people, and to all my people in higher education, it's looking more and more like free speech and academic freedom, even in the classroom, is becoming a Title IX violation. All I can say is people can only take so much until they have had enough. Now the question is, what is this for? Are the powers that be, are they waging war? Well, if this is so, it goes to show how far they are willing to go. It seems they're trying to make this stick. And if I know people like those in higher education, if it's war they want, it's probably war they will get. All right, good people. Sad to say, but that's it for today. And remember, if you had or have a bad day, keep your eyes open on that Title IX, and you should be okay. This is your guy, Mr. Educator, Free Thinker, Communicator. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a good night.